guys, Megan from Modern Genealogy here. Today we're going to talk about descendancy research. So that sounds kind of intimidating, but I will tell you what it is. So a lot of people that I talk to come from pioneer ancestors, and they tell me that their aunt or someone has done all of the family history that is possible to be done, and anything that's left is too hard. And I want to show you how you can find someone to research, even if your tree is pretty full and well researched. This is also great for if you have teenagers or 11 or 12-year-olds that are just getting started going to the temple and they want to take their own names to the temple. This is a great way to find someone that needs to be done. So let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to show you two ways to do descendancy research. The first is using Family Search, and the second is using Pozilla.org. And the first way, Family Search, you might find it easier, but I find it a little more complicated and just more difficult to see people that you can research. But I'm going to show you how to do it anyways. So first I have my family tree here. Now I only have one of my 4 grandparents' lines that are pioneer ancestors, Mormon pioneers. And I know that many of my friends and other members of the church have a lot of pioneer ancestors. Maybe all 4 of their grandparents are. So I'm just going to show you with my pioneer line how to find some names that you can research. So the way you do it is you need to go back to your earliest convert to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and then go back 1 generation and look at their children, see if there's any children there that did not join the church, and then research their descendants. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So here's my line that was pioneers, and I'm just going to go. So this Ole Ellingson, I know that he was born in Norway. So if I'm just starting out doing family history, I don't want to start researching in Norway, because for first reason is I do not know Norwegian, and I don't want to go there, because maybe one day I will be able to do that, but not yet. So I'm going to go to Abigail Evans, okay? And her parents were David Evans and Barbara Ann Ewell. Now David Evans was a prominent church member, and so if I can find people in his line to research, you can find people in your pioneer line to research. So David Evans, back to his father, if you just click on their name, clues to know if they were members of the church or not is by where they lived. In that time period, if they lived in Utah or another stop along the way to Utah, then chances are they were a member of the church. So he died in Michigan, so I don't think he was a member of the church. So if we click on his children, we could click through it and do it through there, or I will show you the way that Family Search has a descendancy tree. So if we just click on this little icon here that says tree under Israel Evans, then it's going to take us to his family tree. And if you click on this little spot on the left where there's all the different types of trees, the bottom one is descendancy. And if we click here, then we can see Israel with his spouse and his known children. And we can just start clicking through and going through their descendants and looking if there's anyone that looks like they might be a good person to start researching. Now, clues to look for. First of all, when you're first starting out researching, you want to research someone kind of the mid-1800s for US and Canada, because we know that there are censuses that we can find them in, and in the late 1800s, that's when birth, marriage, and death records started becoming available or created. So that is a good time period to start with. And the same is for the UK. If you're doing England or Wales, even Ireland and Scotland, they're a little more difficult, but you might be able to find censuses there for only Scotland, not Ireland. So you would just start looking through. So let's click at this Israel Evans. So we have a spouse and only 2 children. Maybe they had more kids. If you want to research them more, you could just click on them, and that could take you to their profile on Family Search, and you can start researching. You can look at how many sources they have. That can give you a clue about how much it has been researched. But sometimes even if they have lots of sources, maybe they don't have important sources there. So take a look at that. So that is one way to do it. You just click through, look at the birth dates, look at the death dates. If they died young, see he was only 1 year old, he's not going to have a wife, obviously, or children. Okay? This one just has a surname, Daniels, so that was probably a baby that died also. So just take a look at that. You want to look for someone that was married and had children, because if they're on here, they usually have their temple work already done. But they might be missing children, or they might be missing a spouse. So just take a look at that. Okay, so the other source you can use to do descendancy research is Pozilla.org. Now this is a free website that you use your Family Search ID to log into. There are premium services that you can pay for, but I haven't used them, so I don't know much about them, but I have heard great things about them, so you can take a look. So I'm just going to show you what you can do for free on Pozilla. So if you go there, you log in, and it will bring you up a tree like this. Now I already hid my dad's line of the tree just because his isn't the line we're focusing on. His wasn't the Mormon Pioneer line. So my mom's dad's line is that. So if you just hover over the little icon here, each of these icons represents a person. So the blue square represents a male, the red or pink circle represents a female, and then it has their children. So this has not children, this is has their parents. Okay, so the child, then their parents. Okay, so they all have a set of parents. This has 2 sets of parents for some reason. Need some help. Okay, so you would just look through here and try to find that last ancestor that did not join the church. Okay, so this is David Evans again, the one that we did before, so we'll just do the same one. So his dad, he was not a member of the church, at least not that we know for sure. So we are going to click on him, and then if you just click on descendants, then it's going to bring a really fun tree. Now this is showing all of his descendants. He's in the middle here, might be kind of hard to see. And then each of these little lines connects to his children, and then that connects to their children and keeps going on and on. Now there's quite a bit here, but if we click on this little box here, that is all of David Evans's descendants. He was a polygamist, so he had quite a few. So we're just going to hide his tree. So see that plus sign here, that is to David Evans, but it's not in our view anymore. Now it's a little easier to see. So now you can see all the kids of Israel Evans, and then you can kind of look through and see. That's why I like Pozilla. You can just have an overview of what there is already in Family Tree, in Family Search, and see where there might be some holes. Okay, so you can see all these kids here. And one that popped out to me is this one here that just has one kid. Back then, people usually had multiple children. Sometimes they only had one. So that kind of shouts out to me that maybe there were some other children there. Okay, so you can just look through and see what clues or what things, maybe they only have 1 or 2 kids, or maybe their kids are quite far apart, or different things like that. So you want to look for someone again in around the mid-1800s in a location that you know the language and you know that there's records available. So I'm just going to click on him. He was born 1865. That's pretty mid-1800s. And you can click to view in Family Tree. Then that will take you over to Family Search. If you're already logged in, it will just take you there. And already we can kind of see there's a bunch of record hints. So that's a good sign. And he has a spouse and only 1 child. 1906, maybe it's just that whoever entered this before, maybe those kids were still living, and so you couldn't enter them in. But you could do some more research, and maybe those children have been passed. They've been alive for 110 years or passed away. So then those names would become available to do temple work. So that is one way, another way to do descendancy research. So hopefully that helps you if you have lots of Mormon Pioneer ancestors and think that your family tree is all done. Hopefully that helps you to find someone and help your kids to find someone that they can research and take their own names to the temple. I know it is a little confusing, but once you get started and get on that Pozilla website, it is easier to navigate when you play around with it. Let me know if you have any questions, and be sure to subscribe and share with your friends. Happy searching!